Lab Golf have been taking the world by storm with what I have to admit is some of the best golf technology advancements I've ever seen. But today we have potentially what could be the end of Lab Golf. Gaz, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, yeah.
So Gaz, you've been having a lot of success with kind of lie angle balanced putters. You've done a lot of videos on them, lots of comparisons. I'd have you down as a bit of an expert, to be honest.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I really do enjoy Zero Torque putters.
Yeah, I think it's such a game-changing method, isn't it? So we have one today, the Antidote, and it's by a company called Bettinardi. Now, if you haven't heard of Bettinardi, you may have seen them in the bag of people like Matt Fitzpatrick and a few other of the world's best players. And this is the putter that potentially could bring an end to Lab Golf's reign as the #1 Zero Torque putter. Gaz, let's hit a couple of putts with it first, but we have the Lab Revealer with us here, and the PXG Allen putter, the Axis One putter, all these other Odyssey straight to straight putters do not, or square to square even. I always call it straight to straight and I don't know why, but they don't work in the Lab Revealer. Now, we'll hit some putts. I also have just an old school Scotty Cameron putter here as well to test against it, because it's a little bit of a game changer, Gaz, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I went for this because it's a little bit different. It's more traditional looking, isn't it?
It almost looks like an answer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not like a big mallet. And I think for the people there's some people sat on edge that don't want to go down the route of Zero Torque because they don't like the big mallet looking putters, do they?
Just before you start, this has to be some kind of competition because we always have a competition. We've got 5 balls. Are we just saying who makes the most 5 wins?
Yeah.
And then we'll get the Scotty out. The Scotty, to be honest, it's a really good representation because this is exactly what so many traditional golfers would want. They want something that's really nice and traditional, like very answer looking in the old ping style. And if we put them down next to each other, I'm not going to say they look the same because they don't. Obviously the central shaft on the Bettinardi, but they look a lot more similar than such as the Lab DF3 or the Lab Mez 1 or even the Lab Osmo, remember that?
Yeah, and I mean, personally, I'm a massive fan of Lab, you know, and I fell in love with the bigger sort of putters.
Yeah.
But I know there's a few people that, you know, just wouldn't go down that route, and this is maybe where you could combine like Zero Torque and a bit more traditional looking together. I know that's got a lot of swing.
I'm going to say, do we know where this putt goes? Because, so the green positions or the pin positions today are absolutely awful, aren't they? So let's... Go on, mate, you go.
There's somebody coming up 18.
He's not there on 9.
No, oh, he is, yeah, he's on first. I thought he was coming up 18.
So the greens here at Woolley Park are absolutely unbelievable, which is why we're out here on the course doing it rather than a putting green. But this 18th green is one of the hardest greens you'll ever play. It swings absolutely massively.
If this doesn't stay high, then
the pace was exceptional, to be honest. I'll give you the pace. Oh, what a great putt that is. And it's funny because I do feel like the Lab putters, although they are designed to help you obviously get the ball on line, I think they actually help you with that element of distance control as well. So
I tested a non-Zero Torque putt, and I'm not going to mention which one it is, but I'll tell you where these are exceptional is forgiveness, you know, at a toe and heel.
Yeah.
Not just this, but all Zero Torque. They react exactly like the middle of the club. Whereas with a traditional putter, you lose a bit of distance, you lose the feel and strike if you hit them off centre.
What roll?
I think we've just picked such a difficult putt here.
I'm really pleased you said you'll go first as well.
Yeah, because you're reading them all. There's one thing though, when I put this down behind the ball, it doesn't look like it doesn't look Zero Torque.
I can't believe they've got that amount of technology in that head. Like, yeah. It really just looks like a kind of normal putter. And Bettinardi used to, go on, he's got one. Oh! Bettinardi used to actually be owned by Mizuno as well, didn't you? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do actually, yeah.
Come on, mate, let's get one in. Would you be better with this, maybe?
Do you know what? I don't think I would. You know, if we took this out for 18 holes.
There are actually 5 really, really good putts to that flag location. Right, there is someone coming down, so let's step aside, we'll let him play, but let's stick it in the Revealer and just see potentially, because this is the Lab Revealer or one of them. So, and you see guys, one of the areas that these kind of zero or low putters can really help, or low torque putters should I say, are these kind of 6-foot knee knockers, because really, it just takes out a lot of potential mishaps, a lot of potential errors. Make percentage on tour from this distance isn't as high as what potentially you might think it is. So realistically, if you can stand up, be really confident and just hold your fair share of these putts, all of a sudden there, you're building confidence. It's almost like a bit of a backward chain method in building that confidence throughout the golf bag. And for 5 putts, how many would you expect? Oh, this isn't an easy putt. This kind of moves right to left right at the end, so I know that I need the right pace, and I know that I need the correct start line. The start line here is almost being taken care of by the Bettinardi putter, and that certainly didn't feel like my best stroke either. So just from this distance, where to be honest, we've all missed putts in the past, we've all missed important putts, this is 100%. And that's the area that I struggle with. Is this the one? So we've got the Bettinardi now in the lab revealer, and as you can see, that's nicely in, so it's kind of flipping around. This is where I feel like you are the expert, because you do know this really, really well. Like, you've put so many putters in this revealer, haven't you, that don't work.
When you spin it, it shouldn't return back to any sort of particular place. It should just sort of be very random.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, proving that there's no torque basically.
Yeah.
But it's when you swing it, is this putter going to stay square to the path?
It's not moving at all, is it?
Solid, and I'm putting some speed in. Now that's the first putter, apart from Lab, that we've had in that revealer that actually does that.
And that's a massive, massive point. I mean, this isn't cheap, so it's still over £400. So the big question here is, would you spend the money on the Lab who invented this technology, or would you go to the company that's maybe not copied it, but kind of just took their own stance on it?
I think it depends on maybe like, I mean, they do the Link 1, don't they, this Lab, that's a bit more traditional.
But it doesn't look as good as that, does it, the Link 1? Like, to be honest, I think personally the Mez 1 is an outstanding looking putter. I think the new Oz putter is fantastic looking as well, but I really think that that's just, I don't know, I think that they've nailed it with that kind of premium look, but with that, I love that kind of line there to see that you square it up. Like, I'd put this with almost a cross on my ball.
Yeah, it's certainly nice to have a new one in the category, isn't it? You know, more options with Zero Torque, the better, I think.
I've just thought, have you seen the one that Odyssey are potentially leaking on tour?
It looks like Lab.
Yeah, it's like a copy. It's like,
I think that's, well, I don't know.
I think it's a bit out of order, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, can I have a go with that?
Yeah,
let's have a go, see if I can hold one.
Are we allowed to say it looks like a poor man's Lab? Have you seen it?
It almost looks like the one that I got off, just for context as well, before we do this, because a lot of people may not have seen the revealer before. If we put the Scotty in it, do you remember the one I bought off Temu?
Yeah, fake Lab.
So if we put this Scotty in here, I do just hook that in there.
Yeah.
I've never actually done this, you've always done it for me. Sit it in there. Now if I do this,
yeah.
So that's the difference, isn't it? Like, that's literally, it's just moving all over the shop because of the torque on it, and that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
So that's where Lab really kind of made their name, and obviously with players such as Adam Scott and people like that using them, I think realistically, I do think it makes it easier. Yeah. And I don't think it necessarily makes it easier by holding loads of putts, but I think it makes it easier for your pace, to get it online. Like, if you're a bad green reader, a Lab putter's not going to help you.
No.
But I do feel like when I've used mine, and I probably will put mine back in the bag twist. I've got a green one with a white shaft that I think looks spectacular, and it's got that forward grip as well, hasn't it? Yeah. This thing doesn't have the forward grip. I know you posted the other day that Odyssey have now created that grip that comes forward. I thought they'd patented that.
Well, I'm not sure if that was like something that someone just made up. Do you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like a rumour.
It weren't an official source, but it was just a picture of forward lean.
So we're saying if I hold one of these, you're getting breakfast, yeah?
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it?
You know what? I love the size of it. I love how compact it is.
It's a lovely looking club, isn't it?
You can't believe how much that moves, can you?
And you picked this all.
It feels, well, yeah, but we're not going to do it anywhere else, are we? It feels really soft. I will say that's a bit of an advantage for a lot of golfers. That's got to be good. Go on then. I think that's your line, isn't it? Can we also have no one commented about my shoes? I like these shoes. Last time I wore these shoes, people called them clown shoes.
Like moon shoes.
But I do feel like now I've got the line as well. Like, you know, if this is a practice session and you're kind of working on your stroke, has that not gone in?
You've only got 2 lives left.
But I'm taking the massive positives in how this is performing.
Yeah.
I think it looks fantastic, it feels fantastic. If I were them, and I don't know, because Bettinardi are a premium brand, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'd have made it cheaper. Like, I'd have made it 279, 309, something like that, rather than plus 400, because I think then you're really grabbing people. Obviously, the R&D that's got into this, the lab putters have probably bought to chop up and stuff and design themselves.
Bettinardi though have always been that like almost Scotty camp, you know,
Yeah,
same sort of tier, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're that premium putter.
Oh, they're all good putts. Come on, this one. For a fist pump.
I think for anybody that's not sold on Zero Torque at the minute, you've got to sort of ask yourself, why are all these brands wanting to incorporate in the range then? Because there's a reason for it.
Well, we've not hauled one putt there, but I have to say, I like it.
Yeah.
Like, I think we might do a follow-up video comparing it to the lab and see exactly
it needs to be put head to head.
how it works. Put it on the Capto system and see what that does. But guys, just a video to kind of bring to your attention the new Bettinardi putter. What's it called again? The Antidote. And it's milled in the USA. That's a big thing for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for watching. Smash the subscribe button. Go and check out Gaz's channel as well. He's got lots and lots of content on these Zero or low torque putters. Is this the putter that ends Lab's reign? I mean, we're not old any, have we? But